Hi everybody, this is Courtney with FiberFox Studios. Today we are going to learn this cute little design right here. This is done in a multiple of 8 plus 4 at the end, or you can work in the round. I give that instruction in this tutorial as well. There's also a lot of extra information, including information on the hook that I'm using, as well as the yarn, which we'll go over really briefly. The yarn that I'm using in my tutorial today is color A, is going to be this Hayfield Bonus DK, and the color number on it is 0766. So I got this at Daramores. I'll have them linked down below in the description as well. And the other color that I'm going to be using is this color right here. This is Stylecraft Special Double Knit, and this is Boysenberry for the color, which is color number 1828. For those of you who are interested in the chart set for this, it's available over on the Etsy shop, and that is linked down below as well. So we're going to jump into our tutorial and get started. You will need to pick at least 2 colors of yarn. To begin row 1, we are going to be chaining in our multiple of 8 plus 4 at the end for those of us wanting to work flat. And if you were wanting to work this in the round, you were just going to chain in your multiple of 8, slip stitch to the first chain you made, and form a ring and begin working the repeat in that same first stitch that you slip stitch into. So we're going to begin row 1 now, working in color A. I'm going to be skipping the first chain right here and moving here to the second chain from my hook and inserting there and doing the traditional single crochet, also called a border stitch, here at the beginning of our row. So we just complete a single crochet. Now from here, the repeat for row 1 will be very easy. We're going to be working in the back loop only all the way down the row. So we're going to pick up the back loop, and that's how all of our single crochets throughout our repeats are worked. So we're always just working one side of our stitch. There's 1. Now here's number 2. I'm going to continue to place the single crochets all the way down the rest of the row. Last stitch in the row is going to be your traditional single crochet going under the V. So you're going to work that complete stitch at the end of the row just as we did at the beginning of the row. So you can pause here, keep putting your single crochets, working that in the back loop only all the way down your row. And then we'll do the same thing, switching color to color B for row number 2. We're going to be placing a single crochet in each and every stitch there as well, working in that back loop. And then on row 3, our mosaic work will begin. We're here at the end of row 1. We have 1 stitch left, so we're just simply going to be working our traditional single crochet, going under the V into that stitch. I began the row with 20 chains, and at the end of row 1, I now have a total of 19 stitches. And that's going to be my count for the remainder of our project. Row number 2 begins by joining on this time with color B, and then we're going to be working a single crochet in each and every stitch all the way down the row. So same thing as we did for row 1, we're going to be working again same exact way, doing our single crochets. So you're going to place a single crochet in each and every stitch, and then do a traditional single crochet at the end of the row. So we'll be back in just a moment for row number 3. Row 3 begins by joining on this time with color A. We begin the repeat for row number 3 by doing a total of 4 double crochets. So we just begin to work our double crochets just like we normally would. We're just simply dropping down and picking up that front loop we left. All right, so then we just begin. Got 1 double crochet. Here's number 2. Number 3. And number 4. Now we're going to do 1 single crochet here into the very next stitch, and 3 double crochets over the next 3 stitches to end our repeat. There's number 1. Number 2. And number 3. So that ends our repeat for row 3. So row 3's repeat is very simple. We're going to be doing 4 double crochets, 1 single crochet, 3 double crochets. So when you start that repeat back over, you're essentially going to be doing sets of 7 double crochets separated by 1 single crochet on down the rest of your row. We are here at the end of row number 3, and I want to show you how you're going to be working your row ends. So I have just completed a repeat, and right here at the end of the row, I have exactly 2 stitches left. So how you're going to handle the row end each and every row is you're going to restart your repeat for 1 stitch, and then you'll do your traditional single crochet in the last stitch of the row. So in this case, for row 3, my repeat starts with a double crochet. So that is what I'm going to place here at the end of this row. But whatever the row's repeat begins with is how you'll handle that stitch. You'll restart 1 stitch of the repeat and then single crochet under that V in the last stitch of the row. And that's how you'll do all of your ends. So we're going to move on now to row number 4. Row 4 begins by joining on with color B. Begin our repeat for row 4 immediately, and that repeat begins by doing a total of 4 single crochets over the next 4 stitches. Here's number 1. Two. 3. And 4. 1 double crochet, and then we're going to end the repeat by doing a total of 3 single crochets over the next 3 stitches. There's 1, 2, and 3. So that ends our repeat for row 4. So our repeat for row 4 began over here when we did a total of 4 single crochets, 1 double crochet, 3 single crochets. So you're going to start back over with that 4 single crochets. So essentially you're doing 7 single crochets in between these little boxes right here. We're going to drop down and do our double crochet. So the splits in between the sets of double crochets, that's where all of our double crochets for row 4 are now going to land. So we're going to be back in just a moment. Keep working your 4 single crochets, 1 double crochet, 3 single crochets on down the rest of your row. Row 5 begins by joining on with color A. This time we're going to begin our repeat for row 5 immediately by doing 3 double crochets over the next 3 stitches. So we're going to begin 1, 2, and 3. Three single crochets, 1, 2, and 3. And then we are going to end our repeat with 2 double crochets. number 1, and number 2. Let's recap that repeat. We began our repeat over here when we did a total of 3 double crochets, 3 single crochets, and 2 double crochets. So you're going to start back over with your 3 double crochets. Row 6 begins by joining on this time with color B, and we begin our repeat for row 6 immediately by doing a total of 3 single crochets over the next 3 stitches. Just going to find that next stitch and begin working. There's 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to do 3 double crochets here into this next 3 stitches. There's 1, 2, and 3. And we end our repeat by doing 2 single crochets over the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. Our repeat began over here when we did 3 single crochets, 3 double crochets, and we end with 2 single crochets. So you'll start back over with the 3 single crochets and keep working that same set of stitches on down the rest of your row, and then we will meet back up when you are ready to move on to row number 7. Row 7 begins by joining on this time with color A, and we begin our repeat for row 7 immediately by doing 2 double crochets into the next 2 stitches. So there's number 1. And number 2. Now we're going to do a total of 5 single crochets over the next 5 stitches. 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. Now we're going to end the repeat by doing 1 double crochet here into this next stitch. That ends our repeat for row 7. So we're going to recap the repeat. Our repeat for row 7 began over here when we did a total of 2 double crochets, 5 single crochets, 1 double crochet. So you'll just start back over with your 2 double crochets and keep working that exact same set of stitches on down the rest of your row. We'll be back in just a moment for row number 8. Row 8 begins by joining on this time with color B. We are now going to begin our repeat for row 8 by placing 2 single crochets over the next 2 stitches. So we're just going to begin doing single crochet. There's 1 and 2. We will now do a total of 5 double crochets across these next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and number 5. And we will end our repeat by doing 1 single crochet here into the very next stitch. So let's recap that repeat. We started over here with 2 single crochets. Then we did 5 double crochets and we end with 1 single crochet. So you'll start back over with your 2 single crochets and keep working that same set of stitches on down the rest of your row. And then we'll be back for row number 9. Row 9 begins by joining on with color A this time, and we begin our repeat for row 9 immediately. And our repeat begins by doing 1 double crochet into the very next stitch. Oops. So we're going to do 1 double crochet to begin our repeat here into the next stitch. And we're going to do a total of 7 single crochets across the next 7 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and number 7 ends our repeat for row number 9. So row 9's repeat is very simple. It is just simply a double crochet, 7 single crochets, 1 double crochet, 7 single crochets. So you'll just keep working that same set on down the rest of your row, and then we'll meet back up for row number 10, which is our final row. Row 10 begins now by joining on this time with color B, and we begin our repeat for row 10 by doing 1 single crochet followed by 7 double crochets. That's our entire repeat for this row. So we're going to start immediately by working here doing our single crochet, one single crochet, and then a total of 7 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and last but not least, number 7. So we're going to recap our repeat really quickly. So we just start back over with our 1 single crochet and do our 7 double crochets. So as you can see where you're working, you're just finishing out this triangle. So once you have completed row 10, you'll be able to rewind this video back to row 1 and work rows 1 through 10 over and over as many times as you would like to form a larger project. When you start the repeat over, up here, row 1, when you start that again, at that point, if you want to swap out color A for a different color, you can do that. Or if you're wanting to swap out color B, you would do that on the repeat of row 2 when you start it over again. So that's how you would go about changing out your colors, is either you would change row 1 or row 2, or you of course could change both of them and you would maintain that new color on up through the full repeat of row 1 through 10 of the pattern, and then you can change again when you start your repeat over. So hopefully that's helpful to some of you who are going to use this for like a scrapgan project. As always, I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Please leave me a comment down below. Please hit a thumbs up and make sure that you are subscribed. Until next time, bye for now.